Yo, what's up guys, it's Nico here with another video. If you've been following my channel for a while, or you've seen some of my older videos, you might remember the scene that you're looking at on screen right now. Because that is from the first Time-Lost Proto-Drake video I ever made. That was uploaded approximately 3 years ago, and since then I've actually been farming him for quite a bit as well. For other people to help them, and for my IRL friends. And during this time, I've actually been having so many questions from people on how they can farm this mount for themselves and if I had any advice for them. So today I decided to sit down and take some time and make a fully 2020 up-to-date guide on how you can obtain this legendary Proto-Drake for yourself. So guys, if you have any questions after watching this video, please go to the comment section below and I'll be more than happy to help you guys and answer your guys' questions about this Proto-Drake. I got a lot of experience with this guy, and I'm sure I can help you out. Alright, let's get into the actual guide. In this part of the video, we're going to go through some of the basic knowledge we currently have of the Time-Lost Proto-Drake. This is up-to-date information as of January 2020, but please note that if you're watching this many years after upload, things may be different. I will update the description of this video if I get to know of any changes. Viragosa is a rare NPC that can spawn in Storm Peak's Northrend. She looks like a blue dragon and has 4 different spawn locations. On small locations, her spawn can be replaced with a super rare NPC called Time-Lost Proto-Drake. He is the NPC that we are after in this case, and he drops one of the most desirable mount in the game. So as you may have understood by now, Viragosa and Time-Lost, they share spawn timers, which means when a spawn is happening in the zone, it can either be a Time-Lost or it could be a Viragosa. However, the chance of it being a Time-Lost is as low as 1 to 10, which equals to 10% chance. From now on in the video, when I'm talking about one of either spawns, I'm going to refer it as a Time-Lost. Just to remember, it might as well be a Viragosa we're talking about. Time-Lost spawn timer was earlier 4 to 12 hours. However, in the last couple of years, it was changed to as low as 2 to 8 hours. Yes, 2 as low. That change is of significant value, even though 2 to 8 hours still sounds quite horrible. It's gonna make a huge difference in the long run. When we say that the spawn timer is 2 to 8 hours, that means that there must be a spawn during that time period. Say that you kill a Viragosa and you wait till her corpse disappears. That's when the next spawn timer in the zone starts ticking. That means that there can't be a spawn in that zone for 2 hours. Because the spawn timer is 2 to 8 hours. During the 2-hour time period, we mount farmers refer that realm and war mode as to not in timer, aka the realm is on cooldown. That means there's no reason to camp that particular realm anymore, and it's best to either swap realm or war mode to begin a new timer in a brand new zone. There is one thing that you could do though to decrease the spawn timer, and that is to obtain the skinning profession to your character. After you kill a Viragosa, you normally would have to wait 30 minutes before the corpse despawns and the timer would start. But instead, when you kill a Viragosa and you skin her right after, the spawn timer starts ticking right away because her corpse disappears. That could potentially increase the amount of kills you can get each day. And the more kills you get, the more chances you have at the Time-Lost Proto-Drake. Now, let's talk about the spawn points. Time-Lost can spawn on 4 different locations. The different spawn points are called Ulduar, Ice Lake, Waterfall, and Village. When you're going to start to farm this mount, this is something you must know, since it's crucial that you're farming on the right location because of competition of other people. I'm now going to go through all individual locations and show you guys actual footage of exact spawn location. So for part 2, let's talk about cross-roam zones and sharding, and how you can use that to your advantage. We all know that some servers are more populated than others, and when farming incredibly rare spawns such as Time-Lost, he can be a struggle to come across because he's constantly camped by other people. Back in the day, there was an add-on which let you phase yourself over to other dead realms. This was unfortunately patched by Blizzard and is no longer possible. However, there is a different way that some people use nowadays to be able to take use of those dead realms, and the method I'm talking about is the use of class trials. With class trials, you're able to get a high level character for 3 hours on any server you like. Class trials was implemented to help people who wanted to play a different class to choose the right option before eventually boosting or leveling a character to max. This has literally been abused by a lot of people to get to phases they earlier couldn't get to. But you may ask, which server should I make a class trial on? And to answer this, I'll have to explain what CRC, aka cross-roam zone is. A cross-roam zone is a particular zone consisting of many different servers or realms. I'm going to take Europe servers as an example. Take a look at this sheet for a second. On this sheet you can see which server belongs to which cross-roam zone. The name of each cross-realm can be found on the left hand side with names such as English 1, English 2, English RP1, etc. The reason why your main realm is usually very crowded is because of the way Blizzard has decided to split servers. High populated servers such as Draenor, Terran Mill, and Burning Legion can be found on the English 1 cross-realm zone. That means that you will see people from those servers if you are on any of those servers as well. The list of all cross-realm zones and servers for both EU and NA can be found in the description below. So to answer my original question, which server should I make a class trial on? Well, if you look at the sheet real quick again, I'd suggest you make class trials on RP realms because they are usually very low populated. So for example, fill class trials up on, for example, Die Vichwacht, Todeswacht, Der Mittelohren, Die Nachtwacht, I don't know how you pronounce those names, Die Eldor for example. Those are German RP servers and can be really useful while hunting for Time-Lost, Aeonax, or whatever rare you're actually looking for. Alright, so let me explain what I'm doing right here. I went into the German servers, chose Mithril Orden, and it made a new class trial. I named it Trials ROP because they are. Then I picked a class, doesn't matter. Then immediately when I appear on the boat, I Hearthstone. I appear in Orgrimmar, I get on my mount, and I change War Mode to on because I prefer to look in War Mode. I make my way to Storm Peaks real quick. Meanwhile, I got my other character, aka my main, ready to be phased over to that dead realm. This requires 2 account setup, so you need 2 subscriptions running on payroll for this to be able to work. Other than that, you gotta have a friend helping you out or something like that. And as you can see right there, I got phased over to my dead realm that I just made a class trial on. And I can now continue to log out on my class trial, and my main will stay on that dead realm because I'm still in the same party as I was invited to on my main. So yeah, that's how it works, guys. That's how you phase your main character over to a dead realm using class trials. And make sure that you do not look for time lost on a class trial because they cannot loot time lost Proto-Drake. If you kill time lost on a class trial, that time lost is wasted and you will not receive your mount, even though if you make a ticket or not. There are a few different ways of farming time lost, but some are better than others. The different ways of farming are group camping, solo camping, and laps around the zone. Let's start with the last one. A while back ago, doing laps around storm peaks by hopping character after character on different crossroom zones was your best shot at finding a spawn, because you were able to check many servers in a row. The thing is, the way time lost worked back then was that the timer was rolling 24/7. But now, when no one is in the zone, the timer is freezed, and which will result in the zone to go cold. Pun intended. Therefore, doing laps is not an efficient way of farming anymore, but you never know. You might get lucky and a spawn might have happened as someone left the zone, so that is completely up to you how you'd like to farm. With solo camping, there's a few useful things to think about, especially since there's 4 spawn points and obviously you can't hold all of them at the same time on one single character. But you might remember that all of the spawn points has a specific flight path. If we open the map real quick, we might be able to spot the most efficient area to camp time lost as a solo. If you can see where I'm located on the map right now, I'm positioned so I'm able to see all different flight paths at the same time. The white lines are indicating where I would be able to spot time lost. Let me show you in-game. First off, we have the Uldor flight path. Then we have the Ice Lake. And then we have the Waterfall. And then we have Village. So by holding that particular spot, you are able to see all the flight paths that are for time lost. When it comes to group camping, I'm gonna explain by showing you guys an example on how it can be done. So we're 5 guys in a group, each holding one of the spawn points. That means we got every single spawn point covered, and as soon as a spawn is happening, the guy who sees it spawn can just simply call it out in chat. Afterwards, everyone will fly as fast as they can to his location. Make sure that you're camping in a party and not in a raid group, or else you and your group will most likely not be able to loot the corpse afterwards. When this example happened, I wasn't in Discord at first, but I joined as soon as I saw the call out in chat. And guys, take a listen to the reaction. I swear to God, it still gives me goosebumps every time I hear this clip.
Pajama time.
Holy fuck.
No!
Ras! Like 18 hours since we started this fucking run. I see it, the fucker. Come here.
Can we kill it? Kill it!
Can
Kill
we
it, please, kill it!
Oh!
Oh boys,
Oh my god!
look at that. Congratulations.
I actually fucking got it. Oh, thank God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! Bro,
Holy shit.
You see, fucking Genetivo here. He has been max level in WoW for the first time for a total of like 20 hours. He reached max level and then he just fucks off over here and stands here and farms it.
There we go, Time-Lost Proto-Drake.
He's a fucking good guy.
Now, let's talk about sharing a time lost. In some occasions, you might find yourself in the zone alone, and all of a sudden, you find yourself a time lost flying around in the air. You also know that your friends also want this mount a lot, but they aren't around at that very moment. So what do you do? Please note that the following is very risky. If you want this mount for yourself and you don't want to take the risk of the spawn getting sniped, you should kill it right away. That way you will get the mount and no one will be able to snipe it from you. However, your friends will probably call you selfish and be jealous. I'm just kidding. It's your spawn, it's your find, and you choose what to do with it. Alright, so if you want to share with your friends, the best way is to pull time lost into a hiding spot. This does not mean that people can snipe you though, so check /who level 70 to 120 a lot during this time period. There's a lot of hiding spots around storm peaks, and some of them I've already showed you during the last minute. And I'm gonna show you a little bit more in the next few minutes as well. So everything you gotta do if you want to share a time lost is to simply fly into him until you have aggro, and then use sure but safely fly short steps into the hiding spot until you dismount and you walk into, like, for example, the cave or the house or whatever. Make sure though that you're targeting yourself and not time lost, or else you might be very unlucky by mistagging him and one-shot him. Another thing to mention though is if you pull time lost way too far, he will disappear. But do not worry though, he will go back and reappear on the flight path. So if you're in a cave and he disappears, as you can see on screen right now, he will appear on the flight path right outside of the cave. So just run out again and do the same steps over again. He will not despawn whatsoever, just to clarify that though. And one last thing I must mention before leaving this part of the video. Do not under any circumstances use any abilities to tag Time-Lost Proto-Drake. Do not even use the Red Rider air rifle, because then Time-Lost will be loot locked to you and only you. If your friends are in Orgrimmar or in Dalren and they join the group after you tagged Time-Lost with a taunt or anything with an ability, they will not receive loot when he's killed. So make sure that you do not use any abilities, just fly into him, pull him into the hiding spot, invite your friends to the group, and you're good to go. When looking for rares, there are some tools that are just a must-have. First of all, having the Silver Dragon add-on installed is really smart. Silver Dragon helps notifying you whenever a rare is around. However, when we're talking about Time Lost or Wrath rares in general, Silver Dragon does not pick up on those NPCs by scanning, but only on a mouse over or a target. That brings me over to the next useful tool to use, and that is a targeting macro. A targeting macro kind of works like an ability, just that every time you click it, you're sending out a command saying /target Time-Lost Proto-Drake. That means that if a TLPD is around a mountain, inside a cave, or spawns for that matter, by clicking that macro, he will be targeted by you, and you know if he's either alive or dead. Also, by having Silver Dragon on top of that, it will immediately play a sound, and your heart will probably skip a beat at that time. All you gotta do to make the macro is to click escape, go to macros, click new, shows your icon, whatever, and then find a name for your macro. Time Lost macro is what I'm calling mine. Then I'm copy pasting whatever I have in my description, which contains the actual macro. Then click save, drag it onto your action bar, and you're good to go. You can now spam click that ability or that macro, and you will then be notified if either Viragosa or Time Lost is around. Another thing you could do to increase your chances is to acquire several WoW accounts. That means that you can hold more servers and war modes at the same time. Not to mention, this will also allow you to face yourself much easier using class trials which we talked about earlier in the video. And now, let's talk about the last tool that can help you while farming for time lost. The tool that I'm talking about is called TeamViewer, and it lets you control your computer remotely from another device. For example, you can connect your main computer up to your phone or tablet, and from there you can pay attention to what's going on in the game. This can be very useful over long camping sessions, especially for me since I'm an adult and I got my daily duties to do. So why not do the dishes with TeamViewer open on your phone beside while your character is AFK in Storm Peaks on your computer. If you see a spawn, you know what to do. And the best part is, it's completely free. Link will be in the description. If you guys have made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you guys learned something from this. I spent a really long time getting all the footage that I needed to make a guide like this. Therefore, I hope it was worth it. Most of the footage are made and recorded by me, however, I've also borrowed some information and video clips from a community and some good friends of mine. I want to thank Tayagosa from the WoW Secret Discord community for letting me use her clip of her seeing time-lost spawn at Ice Lake. I also want to thank a guy called Speedy for letting me borrow his video of time-lost spawning on the village spawn point. I want to thank the WoW Seekers community for accumulating all the information when it comes to cross-roam zoning and clash trials. And last but not least, a huge thank you to Time-Lost's biggest sharer, Strelitzopedia, for providing a lot of information when it comes to Time-Lost Proto-Drake and how he works. You are the queen of Storm Peaks. If you guys need any other help, please let me know in the comment section below and I'll try my best to answer to the best of my ability. And if you guys liked the video, please leave me a thumbs up and tell me what you think in the comments. Also, I would really appreciate it a lot if you guys went and followed my Twitch channel where I occasionally stream mount farming or other WoW related gameplay. It's most likely going to be mount farming though. Twitch.tv/NicoFrags. Link will of course be in the description. Other than that, good luck with the farming, and I hope you guys get the Time-Lost Proto-Drake eventually. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.